aka Bullets, YouTube channel.
Hurry up, now tell us why you're here.
This is Brick Hicks, Chick Hicks' youngest brother, who is late for qualifying for the Florida 500. Ryan Newcar, the Rocket, will start at pole position for the second race, but then Chick Hicks wrecks 13 cars, and Kevin Shiftwright would be out on lap 378 because of Kyle Traxon. Why? Casey Corner would only lose by 4 feet to Matt Karzif, who wins the second race of 2004, and Casey Corner gets the pole, but Chick Hicks is down 10 laps on lap 11 because of Kyle Traxon. I don't know how to react, but Chick Hicks is back on lead lap. Why? And Casey Corner is first with 1 to go, but Elliot Draftler will make a last lap pass to win the third race. Chuck Armstrong will start at pole position for the fourth race, where he's out on the first lap because of Chick Hicks. Why? And he says this. Chick Hicks, that's very mean, but he'll be suspended next race, luckily. But he only loses by 20 feet to the King, and the King wins the fourth race of 2004. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will start at pole position for the fifth race, where Murray Clochburn would lead the most laps with 174, but now he's out because of Todd Marcus. Why? And Johnny Blamer, like usual, is out on lap 342. Kevin Karvik almost won the fifth race, but in the end, he lost to the other Kevin Shiftwright, who wins his very first race, the fifth race of 2004. And here's what Bob Cutlass had to say about it. And here is what his grandfather, Craig Shiftwright, had to say about it. And of course his father, Clint Shiftwright. Yeah, that's my boy. That's what he said. Eugene Karbareski would start at the pole for the sixth race, where he's out because of Ken Schrader. Well, of course this happens, but Brick Hicks would lead his first laps, and here's what his oldest brother, Chick, would have to... He won! Why? And Jeff Gorvette will start at the pole for the seventh race, where Chick Hicks would wreck 17 cars, and Jeff Burnton would somehow jump over the whole wreck. How? And Murray Clochburn would be the winner of the seventh race. Tony Gasworth will start at the pole for the eighth race, where Chick Hicks wrecks 13 cars, and Ken Schrader is out because of Eugene Karbareski. Well, of course this happens. And Chick Hicks is luckily out on lap 336 because of Kevin Shiftwright. Hooray! But now he's out and hits the wall because of Rusty Wheelhouse, who wins the eighth race. Chick Hicks will be suspended for 5 races before the ninth race, where Jeff Gorvette is the car that starts on the pole. But Ward Burnton will go airborne on lap 65 because of Todd Marcus. Why? Ruby Easy Oaks is up front, but he would lose by 2 feet to James Cleanair, who gets his 4th career victory. And here is what he had to say after winning the 9th race of 2004. And the King will start at the pole for the 10th race, where he leads the most laps with 236, but he would lose the win to Jeff Gorvette, who would be the winner of the 10th race of 2004. Ryan Newcar would start up front yet again, but this time for the 11th race. and Greg Beeple would go into the catch fence because of Kyle Traxon. Why? And Johnny Blamer would almost win the 11th race, but he hits the wall on the last lap, which gives the win to Kurt Busch-Tire, who wins the 11th race of 2004. The King would start at the pole for the 12th race, where Dale Earnhardt Jr. would lead the most laps with 169, but he would be down 5 laps on lap 296 because of Todd Marcus. Why? Dale Earnhardt Jr. would get back on the lead lap with 25 laps to go, but Hall Angus would only lose by 14 feet to Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's the winner of the 12th race of 2004. Casey Corner would get another pole, but this time for the 13th race, where Kevin Harvick and Matt Kenseth are out on the last lap because of Kyle Traxon, who will be suspended for 8 races. Ryan Newcar would be the winner of this race, the 13th race of 2004. Kevin Shiftwright will start at the pole for the 14th race, where Scott Windows would crash just moments after taking the lead. Jeremy Carfield would go airborne on lap 347 because of Tony Gasswort. Why? But Brian Vickers would be out with 4 to go, where Dale Earnhardt Jr. would only lose by 3 feet to Jeff Gorvette, who wins the 14th race of 2004. Billy Oilchanger will start at pole position for the 15th race, and who's this? This is Floyd Mulvihill, who will be running a part-time schedule this season, and he leads some laps. How? It's his first race, but Greg Beeple would lead the most laps with 231, and he would almost win the 15th race if it weren't for Chick Hicks! Why is Chick Hicks winning races? Especially the 15th one. And here is what Brick Hicks had to say about his oldest brother. Kevin Shiftwright would get another pole, but this time for the 16th race, where Eugene Karbareski would be out on lap 103 because of his rival, Ken Schrader. Well, of course this happens, and Chick Hicks would wreck 17 cars! Luckily, Ernie Gearson wasn't one of them because he led the most laps with 151. And Tony Gasswort would be the winner of the 16th race. Jeff Gorvette will start on the pole for the 17th race, where Chick Hicks would be out on lap 5 because of Manny Flywheel. Hooray! And Scott Windows would crash once again while he was in the lead. Jeff Gorvette would lead the most laps with 137, and he would win the 17th race of 2004. And he gets the pole for the very next race, the 18th race, where Brendan Cargan would get flipped by Chick Hicks. Why? The King would almost win the 18th race, but in the end, the car that started first would finish first. Jeff Gorvette winning the 18th race of 2004. Casey Gears would start at pole position for the 19th race, where Hall Angus would be out alongside Ken Schrader on lap 16 because of Eugene Karbareski. Why? Ernie Gearson would be first with 2 to go, but he cuts a tire, which is bad, and this allows Jeff Gorvette to win his 3rd race in a row with the 19th race of 2004. Scott Windows will start at the pole for the 20th race, where he crashes while he's in the lead yet again. But Chick Hicks is at fault for this one. Why? Rusty Wheelhouse would somehow jump over Chick Hicks. Casey Corner would once again get second place, but it's to Hicks, who wins his third race this year with the 20th race, and he'll be suspended for the rest of the season because he cheated in qualifying for the 21st race, where Hall Ingus will start first, and Todd Marcus would wreck 15 cars. Why? And his team owner, Kyle Traxon, would win the 21st race. And since he was also cheating, he'll be suspended for the rest of the season. Joe Brakecheck would start at the pole for the 22nd race, where Slider Petrolski would be out for 5 races after hitting the wall really hard. Jeff Burnton jumps over it and gets hit somehow. Elliot Draftler would get flipped on the last lap, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. would be the winner of the 22nd race. Jeff Burnton is fired from Rush Racing, and he joins Richard Chilpaint's Racing in the number 31. Robbie Gorvette would leave the team and become the number 7. Carl Edwards would replace Jeff Burnton at Rush Racing in the number 99. He'll race for the rest of the season. Matt Karzith, his new teammate, will start at pole position for the 23rd race, where Chuck Armstrong goes into the catch fence because of John Hicks, who will be suspended for the rest of the season because of what he did. The King would almost win the 23rd race, but in the end, Mark Carton, who is very good at this track, will win the 23rd race. Jeff Burnton will start at pole position for the 24th race, where Billy Oilchanger would lead the most laps with 274. Every single lap is led by an orange car this race, except for the last one, where Winford Bradford Rutherford will take home his first win with the 24th race of 2004. This is also the first race that Team RPM won since Don Chapcar died. In 1988, Jeff Gorvette will start at the pole for the 25th race, where Tony Gasworth would lead the most laps with 150, and Ralph Carlo would be out for the season because of Eugene Karbareski. Why? Were you trying to wreck Ken Schrader again? Oh, he's out now because of Ken Schrader. Well, of course this happens, but Jeff Gorvette would almost win the 25th race, but in the end, he lost to Elliot Draftler, who gets his 3rd win overall with the 25th race of 2004. Jeff Gorvette will start at pole position for the 26th race, where Kevin Shiftwright would lead the most laps with 361, but he loses fuel in the closing laps of the race, where Floyd Mulvihill will almost win, leading on the final lap, but the King would take the lead from him to win the 26th race of 2004. And here is the top 20 as of the end of the 26th race of 2004. Chick Hicks should not be expected to stay in the top 20 for obvious reasons.
Remember to press the notifications button, which goes ring, ring, ring after you press it. And lightning strikes back, and that's as if you subscribed, of course. And thank you for watching this entire video.